yesterday I told about what is the difference between anatomical approach, resurfacing or measured resection, and functional approach that is based on the gap balancing. So there are completely different concepts between them. Okay, anyway, so that is the extreme policy approach. This is a functional approach is the extreme policy of approach in the functional or gap balancing approach. The final aim of this approach is to make the balance the gap in reflection and extension. So maybe what is the ideal is a little bit complicated, but in general, saying the full extension are a little bit tight, but in flexion are a little bit loose. And lateral side are a little bit looser than the medial side. So this graph shows the pressure that is measured using pressure gauge installed trial bearing, so-called Belasense. Do you know Belasense? No. After the bone cut, we can evaluate the gap using the trial insert with the femur and the tibia between, along with the tibia and the femur component, and insert trial bearing. In the trial bearing, the gauge sensor, pressure sensor, is installed and measure medial side and lateral side pressure, contact pressure during the trial. So we can measure every knee angles for extension 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, because in the robot, now we can know how the flexion angle is at that time. So then record the knee flexion angle and the pressure on the medial side or lateral side. Ideally, the pressure on the medial side and the lateral side is similar. So have a look. This is in the 10 degrees in the extension. So pressure on the lateral condyle is slightly smaller than the medial side. That implies the pressure on the medial side is slightly larger. So maybe ideally that it should be balanced in the extension. But I think that the differences come from the limitation of angle. As you know, the inclination angle and both tibia and the femur are limited within the 5 degrees. Using ROSA as well, if I want to set the beta angle around 6 degrees and 7 degrees, it's impossible. So on the screen, touch screen on the ROSA, we can manipulate the tibia beta angle and femur valgus angle up to 5 degrees. So maybe the patient have the 9 degrees in medial slope, but cut in the 5 degrees. As a result, medial side gap can be slightly small. If I cut the parallel to the native joint line, this gap can be similar in the medial, between the medial and the lateral side. But especially in the using a robot, some restriction may be in most cases up to 5 degrees. That limitation depends on the robot, type of robot. At least a ROSA, we can manipulate within the 5 degrees. That limitation can cause gap imbalance. So maybe this is my thinking only one. Well, anyway, so this is very, very balanced. And pressure is a little bit tight in the extension, higher in the extension. Maybe that is a natural, because after the full extension, all ligaments are tightened. because we can easily understand the morphology of the native joint. Do you remember the graph is the sagittal cut line in the median and lateral side? So lateral side, femur side, on the femur side, there are three facets: extension facet, flexion facet, and deep flexion facet. The flexion facet is between 30 to 120 degrees. That can be simulated as a singular circle. But for extension, radius is a little bit bigger than the flexion. And in the same time, the tibia tray is not straight, but upper margin and the lower margin is a little bit higher than the middle part of the center of the medial plateau. As a result, the shape of medial condyle forms a slightly convex or concave shape. A little bit. In the extension facet can engage with the tibial flexion extension facet. That is slightly higher tibial flexion facet. Flexion facet, extension facet, and the flexion, deep flexion facet. So extension facet is a little bit higher. So that can tighten that is soft tissues around the knee joint. So anyway, in extension, because in extension extremely good, very good ligament tension, ligament stability is required, because in the extension, all body load is concentrated to the right knee or left knee or sometimes both. So every load is concentrated this one. So we can need the stability. Once we on the straight knee, we can stand so very easily. But once we bend a knee a little bit, we need some muscle contraction. So something like a squat. So full extension is very, very stable. So one cause of the very stable extension is this tightened surrounding soft tissue. So anyway, so functional alignment is we can manage this one. So in the same time, we can see the estimated bone gap on the screen. This is the evaluation using the pressure gauge. But in the same time, we can see the estimated bone gap or component gap on the screen with the Mako and the colleague. But unfortunately, we can evaluate only the flexion and the extension using rod, 0 and 90 degrees only. That is the disadvantage of the ROSA. But anyway, so all that is, so what is the procedure of the functional alignment? Then the first step is, as you know, insert the pin tracker of the robot. So of course you can tracker in the navigation as well. So that is, so car navigation, we are thinking about the car navigation. The tracker is the GPS sensor. So, and the satellite is the eye of the camera, eye camera of the robot. It is the same way. So registration is adjust the road and current position of the car. So this is a registration. Well, maybe in the car navigation, register automatically. Maybe. I don't know that the system, how to adjust, how to register the car navigation. But anyway, so using the robot and the navigation, we need to adjust the position of the bone and position of the map in the computer, like the car navigation. The in the computer, the robot has the map. In other words, the shape of bone. Around the knee, maybe Meiko, no, Rosa, how the around the 300 of a bone model. Bigger one, smaller one, and very famous one, and straight one, valgus one. Around the size that. So then adjust, find the best fit the bone model and adjust the location of the bone surface and bone location on the bone model in the computer and real bone and adjust it. That's it. That's the procedure is registration. Then after the registration, then apply the valgus and the valgus stress and bend the knee. Then computer records the laxity, the difference of HKA between valgus and varus stress. Okay, so this laxity is recorded at every knee angle. Then next step, using this data, we can adjust the bone cutting plan. So more varus or more valgus or more flexion, more extension or higher and lower. Then, so using the computer in the robot, this computer calculate the estimated gap. So that is calculated as the bone cutting thickness and laxity. If the laxity, the lateral laxity is 1 centimeter, the bone thickness of 1 centimeter too big, so 5 millimeter. Bone cut is the femur side bone cut is 9 millimeter. So tibia side bone cut is 8 millimeter. So then 5 plus 9 plus 8 equal 23 millimeter. So the computer calculate this gap in every year. Maybe in the extent operation, we can identify the bone cutting surface, but maybe this computer estimate the component. Component gap means bone cut and insert components, and then the distance between the tibia and the femur components. That can be the thickness of the bearing. So anyway, so using this gap, continuous gap, so if I change the cutting plane, so everybody is changed automatically and find the good alignment of the bone cutting angle. So we can manipulate both femur and the tibia in the same time. So, and then finally we can find the best position to get the balance here. Okay. I'm sorry, I can't show you using La Rosa. You need to use Meiko or Cori or other type of robot. But anyway, so how to do this? So the first is start from the mechanical alignment. Is in the mechanical alignment. If it is adjusted, we can cut mechanically. But in the most case, media side too tight and the flexion is slightly tight. So they adjust. We can adjust the tibia varus angle and the femur angle, and so that the good balance is achieved in every angle. So this is like the computer game. It's very interesting if I change the cutting plane, so every bar is changed simultaneously. So it maybe in the next Congress, you can go to the Traeger or Smith and Nephew, so you can see this type of computer. This is a very, very new way to get balancing technique. So, as I said yesterday, the goal of functional alignment is get the balance again, not the resurfacing. The consecutive joint surface, it forms using the articular component. It may not differ from the original native joint cavity because at that times, soft tissue balance is not a pre-disease one because of contracture media side along the lateral side and AC and PCS sacrifice. Anyways, that situation.
はい。
Oh,
A&B 制作バイスについて、
というところ。そこがまあ違うところ。今の軟部組織の状態に合わせていいところを見つけよう。それは当然ながらネイティブのジョイントラインとは多少違ってくるし、それを、そこを目指してやるのではないのって言ってね。そこがもう、いわゆるキネマティックアライメントとのキネマティックアライメントは元の通りに再現してあげたら、その人の自然なバランスが戻ってくるだろうねっていう。そのためには軟部組織はなるべく残しとかんだかんので、CR、PCL を残した状態でするし、で、逆にこっちの方は PCL のない状態で PS を使うという前提で行われることが多いですね。ということになります。はい。以上であります。はい。今日は
オレンジギャップが吹かれるロボットが、なんていうか、